Hello, hello. Welcome all, and thank you so much for stopping by. We are going to have a really interesting one today, and this is going to be difficult for me to record in a number of different ways, but it's also I am looking forward to it, and I am excited. Now, this is going to be a 3.5 minute video that I'm reacting to here, but before we can get started, we do need to go over some backstory, and congratulations all, because you're going to get probably your first lore dump for Lord Intellectual here. The channel has been exploding much quicker than I could have ever expected, and Skyebrows here, who is the author of the video we're going to be reacting to, he actually has a hand in this channel's creation. Now, I do want to state up front, like, don't worry, I have noticed this weird, I guess you'd call it a phenomenon, where people, particularly ones that I suppose are self-conscious about their own success or something like that, they'll always try to attribute their success to a celebrity or someone like that. And very nice sentiment. And look, if that's the way you feel, that's totally fair, but it always does strike me as a bit odd. So I will be singing Skyebrows' praises here, and I will be talking about how he came to help form the channel. But do note that Skyebrows, he has been the straw that broke the camel's back. He was that final straw. The build up to Lord Intellectual has been a very long time coming, and I've been flipping back and forth on it a lot. As an intellectual, I also have a bit of an issue with perfectionism, and I'm sure many of you can relate to that. So I always felt, okay, it's never going to be good enough. There was always an excuse not to proceed, and you run into the issue where, if you do something, if you do put yourself out there as well and it doesn't work, well, that kind of validates all your worst fears, and so you procrastinate and you procrastinate. I've always been of the opinion that we have needed a strong intellectual voice, but I always thought that someone else would step up and do that. And then the fear in the back of my mind is that, well, no one actually cares about an intellectual voice. Everyone is just emotionally driven, and there might not actually be much hope for humanity after all. And I definitely did not want that to be the case, and I did not want that to be revealed. I did not want my fears confirmed, and so procrastinated. And one of Skyebrows' previous videos was that straw, and I'll discuss that now. If you're not familiar with Skyebrows, he is, I say this a lot, but a lot of the people I react to are very interesting characters. Now, Skyebrows has been a CGI artist for quite some time by his own description. And most people will know him now for his, air quotes, AI slop videos. Now, calling it AI slop, there's a little disingenuous there because, yeah, it is very much AI generated, but all of these clips are a few seconds long and they are put together with a lot of intent. And if you actually follow Skyebrows on social media, he actually does post a lot of his prompt engineering. And I know, we're all still burnt out from the AI bros from just a few months ago. This technology is evolving so fast, and the debate about AI art is still raging, and that's an interesting conversation that we can have. But please give Skyebrows a chance here, because if you haven't seen his content before, if you watch it, you will be surprised at how far the technology has come. Now, don't get me wrong, we're not going to get into that whole debate about AI replacing humans and whatnot, because it is still very clearly AI generated, and even though this is sort of the top echelons of AI content at the moment, it is still not at the level of human creativity. You simply have to look at things like consistency and artifacts and that type of thing. Skyebrows does talk a lot about, if this is where the technology is now, give it 6 months, give it a year, and he is absolutely correct. I'm also currently building a open claw bot at the moment as well as part of my sovereign cloud, so there's a little bit of a lore drop for you there. But anyway, onto the point about why I'm reacting to his video today, because I started this channel after he broke my back with that final straw. I always knew that he was going to get a special react, and I've been waiting on that, and he finally dropped another video, and then I've procrastinated another few days because I am nervous about making this video, because it is important. So the reason that how should I put this? falling over, because as an intellectual, it is sometimes hard to rein in your own emotions, which is an important thing to do. But I am also extremely nervous, and this is probably the most nervous you will ever see me. I can tackle any hot button topic, any political debate, doesn't matter, doesn't faze me at all. But now we're talking about my own history here, so it hits a bit close to home. So do forgive me for that. But Skyebrows, I really enjoyed his Breathing Elon Musk video and Cream of the Slop video. And Cream of the Slop is probably my favorite video of his that he's ever made. Now, I haven't watched this Amelias yet, so hell, maybe this will take the top spot, but I doubt it, simply because of how much I love that Cream of the Slop video. Now, the reason I started Lord Intellectual is because, in my experience, there is no intellectual voice out there on the internet currently, at least none that I am able to reach. And there is a lot of doom and gloom in the world right now. We're backsliding, I don't want to get too political in this video because that's not the point, but the left and the liberal-minded are just dragging civilization backwards, and every day there is a new atrocity. Every day there is something to be upset about. As bad as you think things can get, they always seem to be getting worse. And so even though I do have a lot of hope in humanity, there is that disconnect there. And I suppose that is also part of being an intellectual, because I'm not a social being. Many of you will not be social beings if you're here watching this content. But there are some lines in the Cream of the Slop video that hit me. And it was the first time that I ever felt a sense of community. And what am I talking about? So these lines are: why the chase? Because we're in sync when the punchline lands just right. We trade a link, a lol, a wink, our tiny campfire light. Attention's rent for the life on earth, we pay it with a grin. We live rent-free in others' hearts so joy can wander in. So yeah, the reason's this: to brighten up our lives, to catch the feeling in a meme so that the tribe survives. We post to pull the future close and shout, I saw it too. I want to highlight the idea of we are huddling around a campfire in the dark, in the woods, and the woods is full of monsters. Don't forget that only a few years ago, the idea that Hollywood was deliberately replacing every redhead in any kind of media with either an African-American actress or some other form of minority was, you got laughed out of the room if you ever pointed out that observation. Like, don't forget, we're talking 2 or 3 years ago here. You were told that you were crazy, or you were racist, or you were bigoted, or anything like that. And it wasn't until we started to disconnect from the mainstream media and actually post our own videos and go our own way that we discovered, oh, actually, no, I'm not crazy. This is happening. And, you can discuss that at length, because some people will say, oh, that led to the rise of red pill and all of this other type of stuff. But really not. In my experience, the people that are here and watching this content are just normal people who are being disenfranchised. We can, again, get onto the whole idea that the middle class is being crunched, but we were previously isolated. And so this idea that we're all huddling around a campfire and, hey, no, you're not crazy, I saw it too, and the tribe must survive, that was the first time I felt any community. And it also helped that, basically everyone I follow on social media was in this, this AI slop video, this cream of the crop video. And it was the moment that I said, okay, I don't have to be perfect, but we do need that intellectual voice. I will stand up. I will stand up and I will be that voice because no one else is doing it, even though it's at great risk to myself. Now, I am a professional within a certain field, and I'm not going to go into details, but the reason I bring that up is operational security is one of the most important factors in your safety. Doesn't matter if it's online operational security or IRL operational security. The fact that I am here and you are perceiving me means that that is opening up an avenue for attack. It is increasing my service area, and that comes at risk. And this applies to anyone, by the way, to be clear. And I was never going to stand up and be a content creator because I felt the risk was just too great. Now, I've taken steps to enhance my own operational security, and that's why you'll never really hear me talk about any personal details. But that doesn't mean everything is totally secure from a technical perspective. I'm sure Google has the IP that I post these videos from. So if Google/YouTube was ever compromised, then, well, they're probably going to be able to trace that back one way or another. And you always have to assume hostile actors. I have been... Well, that should be... Like, okay, look, this should be fine to share. It's a small detail. Does help, triangulate. So you do have to be mindful of operational security. But in my line of work professionally, because I don't do YouTube full time, it is typical to be the target of hostile foreign state actors. So operational security is extremely important. And that video was the final straw to convince me enough. Okay, well, even though it's going to decrease your operational security and it's going to open up all of these extra vectors of attack, you have benefited from knowing that there is a community out there. And the only thing that is required for evil to succeed is for good men to do nothing. So I have stood up and I am here and I am being that intellectual voice that I so desperately want to see out in the world. And given the growth of this channel so quick, so fast, it seems like that really is something that a lot of people need and are gravitating towards. So if that must be me, then so be it. At least we can take my expertise and say I have a better chance of maintaining that operational security than someone who isn't trained. Anyway, we're starting to drift away from the point a little. If you haven't watched this video already, please pause this video and go and watch it. This is a music video and I will be interrupting, pausing and discussing it as we go. So that can kind of break the flow of things, especially if you're really starting to vibe and bop to it. So we're going to get started here in a moment. I would also highly suggest you go check out at least Cream of the Crop. I will have that linked below in the description, as well as Skyebrows' channel, and he definitely deserves a subscription and a like as well. But that's entirely up to you. At least check out Cream of the Crop, and then I'd also suggest that if you like that, you'd also enjoy Breathing Elon's Musk, although that one's more down to personal taste. So with all of that preamble out of the way, why don't we get started here and see how we go.
British not skittish, my jolly good chap. British not skittish and done with this crap. British not skittish, break the noise from the nap to take you. For your skull a good rap, raise your pint lads in the back street, pub below, flashing purple threads, dystopic window. The goal they created and couldn't control. Amelia girl was such an own goal. Fish and chips on the lips, they were cracking their whips. I say now have you all seen these sad selling clips?
Okay, I'm digging it. Oh, there we go. Who's this? Is this Moist Critical or is this Asmongold? Dr. Pepper. I don't think that's part of Asmongold's lore, although I'm not super familiar up with that lore. But okay, we have, I'm going to guess this is Charlie.
Bloody 1984 on the floor. Sad propaganda that's looking so poor. They can't conceal your Amelia, the natural appeal. Your meme straight to the top and so real we can feel.
I'll also jump in just real quick, because I'm actually working on another video, but people are confused about how the Pathways game was such a... Well, it was barely a game at all, and how it could have possibly been made and how they could have thought it would be effective. And I've said this before in other videos, but you need to understand you were not the target of this propaganda. As far as they are concerned, you already have your mind made up. You are a lost cause. You already have that experience. You can see this coming from a mile away. But this is why it was targeted at teenagers, because they are known, and this has been proven by scientific study, they are far more concerned with social, the social interpretation of them. They are far more concerned with how people think about them. When you're a small child, it can come down to personality type, and it can go either way. But for the most part, children aren't really concerned with how people think of them. And then you become a teenager, and you become far more concerned about how people think about you. And then again, depending on your personality type, once you start to grow out of the teenager years, then it can go back to splitting in either direction. But even introverted individuals do care about that, or the vast majority of them do care about that that social perception when when they are becoming a teenager. You haven't formed your identity yet. And by the way, if you are a teenager and watching this, don't worry. I get that old people are always talking down to you. It is a pain in the ass. We have been there ourselves, so don't worry. I'm not insulting your intelligence here. What I'm stating is this requires pattern recognition in order to understand that this is propaganda, and you just don't have that pattern recognition yet. Not because you're unintelligent, but because you haven't been around long enough to encounter those patterns enough to start to form that recognition. So don't worry, this is not me talking down to you. Lord Intellectual is on your side. I can promise you that. But to the main point, this is why they're targeting this seemingly ridiculous propaganda to the teenagers, especially young teenagers. We're talking like 12 to 14. It's skewed slightly higher in the way it presents, but really that's the real target there, because they know that social doctrine is what's going to take hold. They're not targeting you, they're targeting your children, and this is why you should be extremely critical of it. So don't just hand wave and dismiss it as, oh, no one would believe this, because unfortunately they would. It is an effective tactic, otherwise they wouldn't be using it, otherwise they wouldn't be doing it. So do know that is subversive. So it is good to see how Amelia has come out of that to sort of counter that. But I do also want you to not get too comfortable with that idea, because that counter has come out of our generation, has come out of those who recognize it as propaganda. If you grew up with this, there is a very good chance that you wouldn't recognize it for what it is. And the people who are 12 and 14 today who might have just subconsciously taken that as a lesson, because that game did focus primarily on the social ostracization. There was a little bit in there about sharing content like this is illegal and could get you put in jail, yada yada yada, but it really was more about that social ostracization. So you do have to be careful around that, because you yourself are never immune from propaganda either, but doubly so for people who don't have that breadth of experience that we do. So you might write it off as ridiculous, but it can be an effective tactic, and history has shown that you don't need to take my word for it. So this was not targeting you. You have already got your mind made up. You're a lost cause as far as they're concerned. That's why they're going for your children. So I'm so glad to see Amelia here. But anyway, interrupted for a few minutes there. The video is only 3 minutes long, so let's continue.
Amelia, you both the line between the darkest fear and what's yours and mine. Bring your Amelia, voice sounds like a fine, just inspiring your oblivious game design. Purple shadow recast, coronated out queen, you're meant to be base, but you came out clean. To the ministry of truth, liquid under the night. The license to speak what's in plain sight. Who keeps the island when the tide turns away? Amelia, you feel your leader path wide. Four boys will run from a thunderclap. British, not skittish, and done with this crap. Tried to shut it all down, but she ran a fool lap. White fools left in chorus, the memes on tap. Look straight ahead now, stormtroopers don't dare. She fought for rivers and soil and the damn cold air. Pull the plug quick when plans got
so we've got Kirsche and I believe Philly in there. Oh, and Smugglana in the middle. There you go. I recognize all of these people. I've actually done a reaction to a few of them already. But also note that in that Pathways game, one of the main criticisms they level at Amelia is that she is for English rights. Now, take careful note on that wording there, because in this game, you are English living in England, and for some reason, protesting for English rights is seen as a negative. That is seen as a bad thing. They're trying to turn individuals against their own culture. That is what makes it propaganda. And yes, it seems ridiculous to us that it would ever be effective, but you repeat the same message enough over and over and over again through different vectors in different forms, and that's where you start to get that sort of subliminal messaging and, for lack of a better term, brainwashing. We do need to be careful with that term, because unfortunately it has been misused and it is open to interpretation. So we're not talking about brainwashing in that you're just going to start waterboarding someone. It is far, far more subversive than that. It is slow, it is over time, it is repetition. So English rights is bad, but I'm English. How is that bad? Well, because, and then it goes on to all of these other, you'll get socially ostracized, and look at how extreme this person Amelia is. She's violent and she hates immigrants, and all of these other false arguments that are just trying to emotionally manipulate the person playing Pathways. You'll notice a lot of these arguments that they make in the game are illogical. They are anti-logical. My main argument there, like, you're English in England, you should care about English rights, is probably a prime example right there.
Guess they never heard about their old stories on what they tried to suppress the evil shadow ban like Bob's your uncle or press the homeland.
Okay, so we had Nux Taku on the drums there, I believe. We had some anonymous dancers, and we had Neuro and Evil, I believe. Always love to see it. Also, we just went past it, but take note of that whole mirror shot. Like, that would be inconceivable for AI to do just a very short time ago, to keep that level of consistency.
Green old eye won't be conquered again. Locked by the sea when the speech isn't free. This sea you and tease those of reality. Protect 0 grand, let the Shire be. Shut the Shire down from the BBC. Oh, Amelia, Amelia, a pearl in the wire. The red flag who fan the flames of the fire. The ones who remember the private dawn. The footy on Saturdays and the long gone. Fishnet defiance, your unbound stare. You're more than a warning, you're already there. Amelia, Amelia, we feel you tonight. Rebel clad in purple and pink so bright.
I saw him post this shot on X the other day, I believe. So a whole cast of characters in here. I don't think I'm going to go name them all, but again, this is what I was saying about community. It's so great to see everyone here. It's just it's amazing. Well done, Skyebrows.
Brilliant identities, I love to be resilient. Don't let them weaponize your charity. The difference between cruelty and clarity. Your homeland's yours, your task in hand. She's a base of gold, it's Amelia brand. Now there's a million Amelias. Now there's a million Amelias. Goals of you was revealed, yeah. I feel ya. This goal keeps it real, yeah. Amelia, I feel ya. I feel the deal, make it real, yeah.
Okay, seriously, this is slapping. We even had the Spanish Inquisition in there. I mean, come on. Okay, absolutely amazing. And look, good amount of English and British pride in there. And that's the thing. Like, if anyone tells you you're not allowed to be prideful of your own, whether it's your own group, your own tribe, your own race, whatever it is, they very likely don't have your best interests in heart. And the reason they're doing that is because that pride is a barrier to their goals. It is something that they need to tear down in order to achieve whatever nefarious goals that they want. Like, for the most part, just stay in your own lane. It's not that difficult, but these people are coming into your space and they are trying to force you out and take that away from you. Anyway, I don't need to get too much into that. I'm not a particular firebrand. We are an intellectual here. Plenty of other firebrands out there if you'd like to go and follow them. But to Skyebrows' effort here, like that amazing video. Absolutely amazing. They had a really good beat, good lyrics. I was enjoying it, and just the AI visuals are absolutely fantastic. I can't wait to see what's going to happen in like 6 months, a year. It's incredible to see how far technology has come, and in the hands of someone who knows how to actually use it, which I believe Skyebrows is one of those people. It is an absolutely amazing result. It's put together with thought. It's put together with intent. It's just an amazing thing to see. Anyway, I'm going to stop glazing Skyebrows now. Sorry, sorry about that, guys. But look, I have been looking forward to this react, and it is good to get that lore drop out there. And again, thank you all so much for coming to this channel as well. We have been exploding in subscribers and views recently. I thought we would be in purgatory for months, but the way this channel has popped off has just been absolutely amazing. Thank you all so much. I've only got an X account so far as socials go. I am slowly building all of this up over time because we are a fresh channel and things have happened so much faster than I ever expected. But it is great to see. So, if you do like my content and my commentary and you would like to follow an intellectual voice who does rein in both sides, definitely give me a like and give me a subscribe. That is always appreciated. And that also helps with the whole shadow banning, because we do tackle a lot of controversial topics here, both on the right and on the left. And we do know that, especially with the left, they love to get people deplatformed. And shadow banning is one of those things where, okay, you're not outright banned, but they're severely limiting your reach, and that's one of the first things I'll always try to do. So definitely subscribe if you would like to see this in future, and if you like this particular video or any of my other videos, give it a like, and that saves it to your liked playlist, so you'll always be able to find it in future. And with that, guys, I do appreciate you being here. Definitely let me know what you think in the comments, and yeah, if there's any other content you would like me to break down and react to, leave that as well. Let's have a discussion. And with that, guys, I'll let you get back to it. Enjoy the rest of your day.